Okay, moving on. Why do you feel now is the time to launch WiggyWam? Okay, well, that's a great question. This is, in terms of our launch, guys, this has been something that has plagued us a little bit, if you like. And I'm going to be completely transparent and honest with you, is that originally we were geared up to launch in March 2020. And it was literally about 2 weeks before COVID hit. And we were gearing up to do this launch and getting everything out there. You probably saw some of our PR that was going out at the time. And we were pretty enthused about getting out there into the marketplace. And all of a sudden, COVID comes along, and then, market kind of stops. Everything hits a brick wall. And we're like, okay, now what's going to happen to the property market and estate agents and solicitors' practices and all the rest of it? And what has been really interesting is to note a very quick change in the way people were working. A lot of people were working from home, well, having to, because they weren't allowed to go into the office. And then transactions stopped, and then the market took off again. In between that time, there were then another, probably, I think it was about 4 different portals, or they were called challenger portals at the time, were then coming to the table all at the same time. And we were like, oh my God, we've been developing this project for years, right? Why all of a sudden have these guys just come to the market and said, we can offer something better than, some of the big 3 portals? And it was like, what on earth has happened here? We've gone from 3 main portals, and we were going to come through as a challenger, to now all of a sudden we've got 4 or 5 different challenger portals, including 1 or 2 that had big bucks to spend on TV advertising and all the rest of it. I won't mention their name, but you probably know who they are. And what has been interesting to note is how many of those people or businesses are still standing at the end of this intense 2 to 3 year period as we've gone through COVID and now come out the other side. And I put a lot of pride in the fact that, we took a slightly different stance, which was to retrench ourselves and look at our software offering and look at what we were bringing to the marketplace. And at the time, we made some fairly major tweaks, to be honest with you, in terms of the updating of the software system, what it was actually capable of, adding some additional components, and then again, of course, backing it all up with the books that we were sort of writing at the time, or had as ideas at the time, to educate the marketplace in a greater way. And that was a pretty major thing. And also highlighting the change in the marketplace brought together, I think, the fundamentally biggest thing that needs to change in the property industry, which is transaction times. And what was slowly becoming more and more of a problem in terms of the time scale of which, from making an offer to actually picking up the keys, extended and extended and extended to a point where now people are fed up. And we've highlighted now what is, some of the major bottlenecks in terms of getting a deal done and getting solicitors and estate agents their fees paid, but also, more importantly, their clients, the ones who are paying for it all, actually getting their keys in their hands to their new home as soon as possible. Okay. So it's been a really lengthy journey. I think we've seen some of the people come to the marketplace and dispel a myth. As I said, one of our potential competitors came to the marketplace, blew multi-millions of pounds worth on TV advertising budgets, radio budgets, and all the rest of it. And, that business model ultimately failed. And I think that is testament to the fact that the old ways of doing things, i.e., razzmatazz, lots of eyeballs through TV and press advertising, ultimately hasn't proven to be worthwhile for one of our other competitors, shall we say. So I do think that now is the right time to launch WiggyWam. There's been a change in market practices. We are streamlining our services to be able to offer a conveyancing concierge service is one of the core components of what we offer, which is to get your property transaction done inside of 6 weeks. Okay. Now, if you look at most other law firms out there, they're going to tell you that, that's not going to be possible. It's not going to be able to be done within 4 to 6 months. And we're saying 6 weeks will be the transaction time. Okay, so I think there's a big demand for what we're offering and what we're bringing to the marketplace. And we're calling it basically the new way of buying and selling a home. It's something that is on the cards. It is going to be coming more and more to the fore. It is centered around upfront information. It is centered around getting your searches back as quickly as possible, indemnifying your transaction so that you're not then held to ransom at the 11th hour because you spent thousands of pounds with legal fees and then your buyers threaten to pull out, that gives you a lot more power in your hands as to why you actually want to be working the WiggyWam way rather than going back to do the traditional way, which is 26 weeks and a load of headaches and a load of stress and anxiety. And then, you buy your property, but you end up completely stressed out as a result of it. Okay. So I do think now is the time to be fully launching WiggyWam, and I am really pleased with what we've created as a product and all the other component parts that fit into it. And I'm really excited that those agents and those solicitors and those members of the public that are coming into WiggyWam, experimenting with the site, looking at it, are going, yeah, you've got something pretty amazing here. It was described actually as the closest thing to a perfect solution by somebody who I hold in very high regard, and I'm very grateful that they said that about our site, which is, it's taken a lot of time, effort. This isn't just an overnight thing. This has taken years to get to this point. But, when somebody pays you that sort of compliment, it gives us a lot of confidence that we're on the right track. And it's now just about building that audience of estate agents, solicitors, surveyors, mortgage brokers, buyers and sellers, tenants and landlords, and property investors, and bolting them all into this one centralized hub, which is specific for property. Okay, so hope that answers that question, and let's move on to the next one. Thank you very much. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much again. It's 26 weeks now of doing these WiggyWam Get Your Property Questions Answered webinars and podcasts. For anybody who's got other questions and concerns of a property-related nature, we'll return to our normal format next week. But please send your questions and concerns and comments into us. Happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. That's happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. You can go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. Set up a free profile there and send us messages and comments through the website itself. Or you can find us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at WiggyWam_UK. That's at WiggyWam_UK. And we'll be delighted to serve you and answer your questions in next week's episode. So thanks once again for all your love and support. Thank you for helping us to make 26 weeks. A big congratulations to all of you for everything that you've done to help and support us as well. And I'll look forward to seeing you on a future webinar very, very soon. Thanks ever so much indeed, guys. You take care. See you soon. Bye.